This is Julian, and what I want to talk about in this video here is why the law of attraction, the LOA, doesn't work for the majority of people and why it won't work for you unless you get this one thing. When you get this, trust me, you will look at the traditional law of attraction practitioner, positive thinking, and you will just see them as a complete fool, and you will finally get the results you're after. So let's just start with, what is the law of attraction? Okay, the LOA. The law of attraction basically states that whatever you think, right, if you think positive thoughts, you will manifest positive things. If you think negative thoughts, well, guess what? You will manifest negative things. Okay, and this will lead people to go on extreme, positive thinking benders where it's like, must think positive thoughts, I have my positive affirmations every single day, or creating vision boards, right? The more mainstream way where, I'm gonna put a nice car up on my vision board, I'm gonna look at it every day, I'm gonna think about that car every day. Hey, you hear that story about Jim Carrey? He practiced that way back in the day. He wrote a check to himself and he just looked at that check, and it's all about the vision boards. People have that on their phones, right? Got the background vision board, and again, this is just over the top crazy just how far this has gone. Okay, the law of attraction movement is huge, the positive thinking movement is huge, and my question for you here is, if this law of attraction is so powerful, why is it that so many people you see in this movement are broke, are not successful, right? All these conventions like positive thinking, vision board, where are the results? Right? All these people have their vision boards who go there. What's going on? Okay, it doesn't work for the majority of people, and it's not because the law doesn't work. Okay, the law of attraction, in my opinion, based on what I've seen and based on what I've personally experienced, is definitely real and it definitely works. The reason it doesn't work is because people don't know about what I'm going to reveal to you right here in this video. So lock in. Okay, pay attention. I've taught this to tens of thousands of people around the world, and the results they've gotten have been incredible. So, if you're ready to find the missing piece that will finally unlock this law so that it works for you and you don't end up like another one of those fools just walking around positive thinking for nothing, then pay attention. So the key thing to understand here is that there are two worlds inside of you. Okay, there's a world that you're aware of and a world that you're not aware of. There's your conscious mind, which is 10%, and your subconscious mind, which is 90%. Okay, this is everything that you're aware of, this is everything that you're not aware of. If I asked you, what did you do yesterday? Now you're aware of it, but where was that data before? In your subconscious. Okay, your subconscious is simply everything you're not aware of. For example, monitoring your heart. It's like, hey, beat, breathe. Okay, your body temperature, so on and so forth. Habits, including past experiences, memories. If you had to be aware of everything that ever happened to you, every second of your life, your head would explode. You wouldn't be able to function. Okay, so we have this split. Now, this is good. As I said, we wouldn't function otherwise. But we use this dynamic to, the very bottom here, bury all the things that we deem as unacceptable. Unacceptable beliefs, thoughts, emotions, aspects, experiences. And although we think that they disappear by placing them out of our awareness, they are still active, but they're just in the subconscious. The subconscious takes over. I'm sure you've heard the famous saying, whatever you resist persists, right? So all those unacceptable things, just because you place them out of your awareness doesn't mean that they've gone anywhere. They're still there, and they're still active. You're just not aware of them. And not only are they still active, because you've been resisting them for so long, the charge behind them is much more powerful. Okay, this is why, for the most part, we are run by our subconscious. Not what we're aware of here, but all the things that we've stuffed down there. And as I mentioned, it's not necessarily pleasant things that are down there. If you go home and you sit down in silence, what happens? Some of the stuff that's out of your awareness starts coming up to the surface. You can probably hear that little voice in the background. If you sit in silence or you look at yourself in the mirror, it's like, you horrible piece of shit. Look at you. You're so ugly. How could anyone ever love you? Your parents should have killed you and aborted you. You don't deserve to live. Now you're looking at me shocked, but that's what the voice says. If you even want to try challenging that voice, try looking at yourself in the mirror and just say, I love myself. And most likely you're going to hear that cringe, or that little voice will say in the background, BS. I am awesome. No, you're not. Okay, that comes from that world that you're not aware of. And in that world as well, this is also where you banish core beliefs, okay, as well as your core identity, the way you view yourself. Now, this isn't necessarily, you could say, bad or negative beliefs. It's simply beliefs that are too risky to be challenged, right? So if you make an assumption as a child in terms of what you deserve, and then based on that assumption, you form new assumptions, new beliefs, and it's like this tree that emerges from that original core assumption. If this is wrong, then everything crumbles. So that there, too risky to challenge, let's place it far out of our awareness. So we just never even become aware of it, to even consider the possibility of challenging it. Okay, so that's down there as well. Now, guess what? This runs you. This is why we have ceilings of success. We pass a certain amount of success and self-sabotage pulls us right back, right, to stay congruent to core beliefs. And this is also why the law of attraction doesn't work for the majority of people, because they aren't aware of this split. They just focus on the conscious mind. Oh, the 10%, think positive, think positive. But down here, they never address it. They never become aware of it. Think positive, I am awesome, I deserve great things. No, you don't. No, you don't. And guess what? The subconscious always wins. All this stuff that's out of your awareness doesn't go anywhere. It's still active. It's simply out of your awareness. And it's also subject to the law of attraction. And this is why the law of attraction doesn't work for most people. So they think. You ever notice those seminars, like the law of attraction, it's filled with broke people? They're like, well, if it worked so well, they'd be attracting millions. No? Because they only focus on the conscious. Think positive, I'm enough, I'm enough, I'm enough, I'm enough. Subconsciously, no, you're not. Which one wins? Subconscious. The subconscious always wins. You're a prisoner to your subconscious. You think you have free will only to the degree that your subconscious lets you. Now, some people get this, right? Okay, I get it. Conscious, subconscious, some thoughts I'm not aware of that are also subject to the law of attraction. I already know this. That's why I use positive affirmations. I have my list of affirmations that I say in the morning when I wake up, at noon, at night, and guess what? I even listen to them as I go to sleep, and eventually, once I say those positive affirmations 1,000,000 times, the subconscious thought will simply disappear, right? I'm not awesome. In the background, let me say I'm awesome 1,000,000 times, and let's go check back to see if the I'm not awesome thought is still there. However, this approach, and really let this land, does not work, okay? You can write this down. You cannot BS your subconscious. You cannot reason with it. You cannot try to reframe it. You cannot negotiate with it. The only thing you can do is let go of it, okay? Because really, sink into this. Say there's that thought, I'm not awesome, roaming in the background, and you find out about positive affirmations. Now, positive affirmations, in my experience, are a great first step, right? If it's just negative there, saying I'm awesome, right? I deserve great things, so on and so forth, on a day-to-day basis can be extremely powerful. However, it doesn't get to the cause. Because the more you have to tell yourself, I'm awesome, what is that doing? It's keeping that original assumption, I believe that I'm not awesome, alive. Only someone who believes that they aren't awesome have to say, I'm awesome again and again and again. It's not the default. And it keeps reinforcing that your default is you're not awesome. If you have to tell yourself, I deserve success again and again and again, what is it reinforcing? Oh, that by default, I don't deserve success. So it simply fuels and gives more power to that thought that's in your subconscious that you're trying to get rid of, right? Even by trying to get rid of it, you're also resisting it. So the only way is to let go of the charge behind it, okay? That is the way out. Once you dive into all those things that you've suppressed and repressed, that you've buried deep down inside, and you let go of the charge behind it, you're no longer run by it, and guess what? Now, the law of attraction finally works. However, in order to let go of it, you must also be willing to face it and become aware of it. Okay, you got to let go of this obsession with, I must only think positive, which even, leads people down this very obsessive compulsive route, right? Where every single day it's like, I'm positive, can't think negative, there's a negative thought that leaps in. No, the negative thought, more positive thoughts. It's just a terrible way to go through life. And if you really want the law of attraction to work, you're gonna have to drop that and dive into all that negativity. You're gonna have to bring it up into your awareness, right? You're going to face the darkness in order to process it, in order to let go of it. Until you're willing to face it, it will just stay down there and it will just keep running your life. So keep this in mind, okay? If you want the law of attraction to work for you, you're gonna have to drop this addiction to positive thinking, put it aside, and dive right into all that negativity, all those things you've labeled as unacceptable, bring them into your awareness so that you can let go of the charge behind them. And don't worry, okay? Just because you're bringing something negative into your awareness, oh, what if the law of attraction, what if I attract it then? Guess what? It's already active. Right now, it's much more powerful. It's simply out of your awareness. By bringing it up into the light of consciousness, now you can do something about it, okay? And one subtlety here with affirmations, I personally think affirmations are great if you use them right, okay? Here's the way that I'd recommend going about them. Say, for example, I love myself, and say you get that little bit of resistance inside, where that voice is like, no, you don't. That resistance, that's what you let go of. So you use affirmations, not trying to BS yourself, but to bring up what is already there so that you can now let go of it. Okay, this is how the law of attraction really works. And this is why, if you look at everyone just practicing positive thinking, trying to manifest things, they'll never get what they want because they never addressed this hidden world. Okay, that is where the gold lies. Diving into it, processing it, and letting go of it so that the law of attraction works. The law of attraction only works if it's the default. If it requires effort, I am awesome, and there's all that effort, that doesn't work. Because the default without effort is, I'm not awesome. Change that. So you no longer need positive affirmations. It's just the default, and that is how you will succeed. If you want to learn more about this, click the link below this video. Apply to join my private mentoring group where I teach you the exact steps you need to take in order to bring this up, become aware of it, and let go of it. It's extremely practical, okay? It's not just talk and fluff, and this is what really gets you the results you know you deserve. So if you want to go deep, click the link, and as always, until next time. This is Julien, and if you're someone who has social anxiety, you fear putting yourself out there, or you procrastinate, you put things off, you come up with excuses, or you're lost and you have no purpose in life, then pay very close attention because this scale of transformation is what has helped me change the lives of thousands of people around the world. Now, I want to help you identify exactly where you're at and give you customized feedback and action steps to get you moving up fast. Don't be one of the people who just dabbles around in the dark trying to figure it out on their own. Jump on a free call with myself or an expert from my team and let us help you. Just click the link below this video, tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll be reaching out very soon. Click the link right now and let's do this.